Welcome to UBA Talk. I am your host, of course. Today is a day where I'm just really going to cover more of an informational kind of thing for people, because a lot of people don't seem to. We get a lot of questions about, hey, where do I go to for this? How do I do this? And so I'm going to go through our website and try to help out as much as possible. So if you want to, keep this link and, put it on your team page, whatever you want to do is fine. Okay. It's just a source of information for you to have and for you to use, because it's one of those things that, quite frankly, if you don't have good owners, good presidents and stuff, you get a lot of people that are lost. I get people I see at league that come up asking questions. When people join WCS, I have team rankings questions. Like, I have to point them to this site, right? And so I think this video will help with a little bit of that disconnect. So let's get into it and kind of see what we're doing here. So this right here is UBA TV .tv, which I'm more than happy to throw that in here again. Just once you key it in, when it loads up, this is what you're gonna get. This is your main screen, right? And so, just like any website, and our website is improving all the time, right? We're trying to make it simpler for the user, easy for the staff to use, and everything else. So right now, you got everything at the top here. You got your groups, about us, rules, and everything. If you hover over something like about us, right, it's got this whole thing, right? So one of the things I'm going to start with on about us is UBA staff directory, right? This right here, social media is not the answer to fixing. Social media is not the answer to fixing every problem, right? It's fun to do. I get it. But when it comes down to legit questions that you want legit answers to, email is going to be the best way to do it. And quite frankly, getting into a shouting match, a pissing contest, anything like that on social media is not going to be really good for anything. So, feel free to use this, right? Everybody's email is on here. You see on here on the staff directory right now, you've got Tynell, Tanika, Tom. You got everybody on here, right? And so this is the best thing for people to use when it comes to getting in contact with people, right? Because so many times people want to hop on Facebook, and that's just not the best way to get the best answer for you in the shortest amount of time. All right. Also up here, you got rules. So you've got the playing rules for the UBA and the WCS playing rules. You got links to our apparel sites, the links for apparel customer service for each of those places. You get season tour info. You got everything. If you need to do re-rates, you go here. Event stuff, you go here. It's got the pages, results, rosters. So there's so much stuff that's on here, right? Now, as you can see, my government name has me up here in the corner because I just stay signed into this website. So the main thing is have a profile, right? You click on it. You can, put different things on it. It's just like any other thing. All that stuff right there isn't necessary, but you're going to want to have a profile on here, because in that way, when you get a link, that's when you'll get the email information, whether it's a Bill.com thing, whether it's some, event announcement, staffing announcements, whatever. You need to have a profile set up here on UBA TV. So you got prepays for events when those go on or on here. A lot of times you'll see on social media where Mal, for instance, in the Southeast, will kind of do a screenshot of everything on how to get everywhere. But this is really pretty easy to use. So one of the other things that I want to talk about, being that I'm over team rankings for the South and for WCS, is where that stuff is, right? So WCS Southeast prepays. This right here is where you got your information for your qualifying fees, your match fees, your one-time fees, your tag team, one time your match fee, and your qualifying for tag. So it has all that on here. If you click on any of them, which we'll click on the qualifying fee because that's obviously where anybody would start, this is what's going to come up for you. You're going to pick your bracket, right? Now, if you have to ask which series you should be in, obviously Vixens is for the ladies, right? But anybody can get in heavyweight, cruiserweight, and welterweight. If you need to know what average you're using, you please read the rules before you get started, right? It's one of those things that I can't stress enough, that the rules are there for a reason. And anytime you're going to get into something, gather the information the best you can, right? Now, I'm always down to answer any questions. In fact, I'm going to put my email on on here as well. I'm down to answer the questions, right? But I can tell sometimes when that one question is going to lead to like 20. So, read the WCS rules. That way you just have a little bit of a foundation to, I don't want to say so you don't ask a stupid question, because there's really no stupid questions, but this will help you kind of be knowledgeable on what you're getting into, so to speak. So, because when people don't do that, you'll have them where they're like, well, I got to pay a match fee every month. Like, yes, that's how it works. So, pay attention to that and you'll be good to go. But anyway, back to this. So you click on this. If like you were going to do heavyweight, you put your name, your franchise, add to cart. All these are PayPal. That's how you pay. Everything's PayPal. We don't handle cash at events for any of that stuff. It's easier to keep that paper trail to make sure that money's accounted for. We don't forget anybody, things like that. It drastically shrinks the margin of error down. Excuse me. All right. Also, team rankings. You got team ranking payments right here's a link, but also up here is team rankings. Right. If you click on team rankings, it's going to bring you a couple boxes, right? Or a couple things. You got the rules here for team rankings, which is also under the UBA rules. It's, I believe, section 13. But it's also right here as well. Southeast, North, South, New Jersey, South, and North for team rankings. For us, for instance, the one I do, so I don't really ever go on anybody else's, but for us, for me, the Southeast South is the area that I have. And so as you can see on here, the last time I updated it was on 2/9, which I'll update it again today if there's any matches taking place today, which I do not think there is. But I'll check. So currently we have $14,000 and $13,040 in the prize one. And this is what it'll pay out currently. First, second, and third. 60, 30, 10. That's what that looks like. And as I update this, these numbers keep growing. And that's ultimately what we want. Like, we got to have the money. The money has to be right. This down here shows our current 15 teams, where they're ranked, what their status is. So, like, for instance, Dilligaff, is it a match versus number 2, the Outsiders? The match expires on 2/23, right? So when I update this today, I'll go through all the chats and I'll update, when they've agreed upon, whether it's the 22nd, 23rd, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'll update all of these. Now, one other thing on here for teams to know is the verbiage is important, right? If somebody defended, right? Like if you look at Triple X, so here at number 11, they defended versus number 14, Natural Disaster. When that's the rank they were in when they defended. They have a challenge in on number 9. Right? Defended means they do not have to accept any challenges, right, until they get to bowl again. So you can see down here where Southern Asylum, they defeated number 15 Top Shelf Stunners. They have a challenge on 11. Well, they're just waiting. They have to wait for Triple X to either win their next match when they get to Bowl 9, or whether if they, once they lose it, then they can be challenged again. But just the verbiage is very important here, and it's all also in the rules. And you can always feel free to email me or reach out if you know my socials. Right. In fact, let me go ahead and plop this on here, so it'll be on here the rest of the way. Yeah, so right here above me, that's my, if you have any questions or concerns about anything I show you in this video or anything UBA related, feel free to email me. I'm really, honestly, very simple to get in contact with. I don't mind, if I'm at work, and on break or something, I'll be more than happy to respond. But I'm usually pretty good about responding to everybody, which anybody that knows me will agree. So, all right, so back to UBA website. So below all this is you have, so like matches to be scheduled, right? So like Mal, I know he uses this. We have a separate Facebook page that I use for the South, and it has the matches to be scheduled matches, all that stuff, right? Mal updates his stuff here. Like, everybody's a little bit different, but this is just the best part here. Prepaid tab, and you got to pay your match before it begins, right? So you can click on that. It takes you to pay for the match. When you're ready to call out somebody that's there, your financials. I edit a Dropbox, and then it updates it here, right? So you can see from the start of the year, all the money we've got, all the matches that have taken place, and the matches that are set up, right? So if you go down here, right here, I got Dilligaff and the Outsiders. Now, to be consistent, I put the higher seed is always on the left, lower seed's always on the right. Once this match happens, I'll flip them if the outcome's different, because I'll have to put defeated in here, or DEF in there if depending on the match results. Same thing with High Caliber, Full Throttle match, Savages, Mob match, etc., etc., etc. Put the date on here. Then once I verify that 300 was paid before the match started, that 300 goes here, and we go from there. So, if you have any questions about anything team rankings related, definitely feel free to email me, reach out to me on my socials. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Because this, especially, we got so many new teams, right? And we're growing, especially in the South. That new teams you're gonna have new owners. You're gonna have outright new franchises, and you need somebody to ask. Feel free to ask me. As you can see, my UBA email right there, rgillespie@undergroundbowling.com, is on the screen for you, so we're good there. All right, so that's for all your WCS and team rankings information. But yeah, you can go through any of these. You got your forms and documents. We got different things in there. Like when you had to submit a stay in your lane lineup, you'd have to go on here. If you want to sign up to be a free agent, you got everything here. You want to start a new franchise, like everything is on here. But the main thing is set up your account, right? You'll get the emails anytime I submit payment information to Tanika for WCS. When she pulls your address for Bill.com to get all that stuff set up for you, this is where she's getting your email from. So it's very important that have an email that you're going to use, and it's just, there's no like charges or nothing like that. There's nothing crazy to be on here, but it's just the best place to get your information from. So Let me see if there's anything else. No, I think everything else in here just is pretty much like self-explanatory. It's kind of like when you're at work and you get, different internet access, and they have different forms, so you just kind of play around with it and see what's there. We're always improving. It's not perfect yet by no means. We're not even gonna. I'm not gonna pretend like it is. But it is a good source of information, and it's just very important. So, best thing to do if you're a team owner, team president, as you get people join your team, send them this way first. Let them read the rules. Let them see what else is out there. Because you never know when somebody's going to fall in love with it, and maybe they'll want to start a team one day. Maybe they'll want to join staff one day. Staff applications are right here under forms and documents. I'll go back to that one real quick. So you got on here. Look, if you want to let people know that you legit want to make a change, go here on the staff application. You fill it out, email address, name, mailing, everything that's on here. What experience you got? Why do you want to work? Do you own a laptop? You have transportation? And you got the little drop down box here. We're always looking for people. Our footprint is continuing to grow. So there's going to come a time where we're going to need another director of events. We're going to need more district managers, treasurers, another entertainment director, like events coordinator. Like there's so much stuff that's out there, but the easiest way to let people know that you want to make a difference in the UBA is to fill this form out. It goes to all the key people. They'll know that you're interested in, and it lets them have the right conversations. Right, saying it on social media, that's not gonna help. But it's definitely the way to go. So, if you have any other questions or concerns about anything I showed you or anything UBA related, hit me on my email, rgillespie@undergroundbowling.com, and I'll be more than happy to get it out there for you. Or get you an answer if I don't know myself. Definitely point you in the right direction. Also, like I said at the start, save this video on your team page, so it'll help guide new members, or a good refresher for you even to make sure that people get involved, get signed up on the site, and it makes it 100 times easier to get that information. So that's all I got for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in to UBA Talk, and have a good day.